sideline pass there. Both of those goals were headers that beat Hendricken goalkeeper Vic Mercurio. But Hendricken did not panic, did not run around, and they rallied, and Scott Diorsi came in, and he got listed there as an unassisted goal.
Unassisted goal. He got a hold of a loose ball and let it fly.
Okay, Hendricken's got a slight advantage on the shots, which surprises me a little bit, as they came on, I guess, late in the half and got the better of things there. He saves. Hendricken had the early pressure. Barrington had the early pressure, so Vic Mercurio has made more saves. Corner kicks, 2-1 Barrington. Team fouls, 18-14. What does that tell you, Coach?
Well, I think it tells me that both teams are playing aggressive, the fact that there are that many fouls, but they're also very even, and the referees are doing a nice job at controlling the play. These kids are out there wanting to win, and they're going all out. There's been some slide tackles in there. They came in hard, but there haven't been any real injuries at all, so you can see that the kids nowadays, they can handle it.
And both teams have concluded the halftime here. They've been whistled down the field, so let's hear from the folks that bring you this, and we'll be right back here in Stevenson Field.
Metropolitan Insurance Companies thank Baden Sports for donating the official tournament soccer ball, and Adidas for their continued involvement in the Metropolitan Insurance High School Soccer Championships.
All right, Barrington in the second half will be attacking from left to right, and they're going to get the first kick, first possession, or attempt at it. As you can see, number 4 out there, Scott Douglas, who has not himself scored, but set up the second goal by Barrington. With a nice crossing pass that Brian Boone headed in, and there's Scott Douglas controlling the ball. We are underway here in the second half. 2-1 it stands, Barrington in charge, but Hendricken came back strong offensively in the late stages of that first half. And it looks as though they want to pick up right where they left off, as the ball is controlled by Hendricken on the far side. Peter de Blasi trying to get something going. Knocked away by Dan Ford for Barrington. And still finally now, back out to midfield as Hendricken's going to try and regroup. Scott Douglas controls for Barrington. Gets it up, and it's going to go to the near side to his brother, Matt Douglas, racing down, but he's not going to get there. As it's handled and kicked back nicely by defender Steve Russell. It gives it back to Vic Mercurio. Oh, breeze kicking up here, Cliff.
Yes, it is. And it'll be interesting to see if Barrington is able to stay with Hendricken in terms of conditioning. I know that Hendricken, I was impressed when they played Portsmouth.
There's a strong shot, but right there to save is Chris Darling, as Hendricken has come out and established that he wants to be on the attack. Matt Masur was the one with that shot. Darling had it handled, but there really weren't too many defenders around. Masur got off a quick shot and was dead on. Barrington tries to get it downfield, but it's a little bit too far ahead, and it will be controlled by Mercurio. And Hendricken will send it back the other way. Mercurio will boot it out of there. Long arcing kick to midfield. Nobody controls as of yet. It's picked up by Barrington, by Hendricken rather. Peter de Blasi again. Who's going to kick it back and allow his teammates to set something up. It breaks free. Nobody has charge right now. It's dangerously out in front. Only one defender back.
That's Jared Hall. He's a very good header, and he's only a sophomore, Rick.
Well,
he's still a very young player.
Barrington has to be careful here, I would imagine, as Hendricken's come out very aggressive here in the second half. And any lapse.
Well, again, I feel that Colbert has been very instrumental in this first half. He's really put the muff on Douglas, except for that one breakaway to the baseline.
Oh, you see Bobby Walworth, who is also a prolific scorer, a high-powered guy, knows what to do with the ball, but he's been very well marked today and hasn't been able to get anything going. He just tried to, but it's over the end line. I thought it was off the Barrington defender, but apparently the ball is going to go the other way. Taking it out of there for Barrington is Jared Hall. Got a little bump at midfield. No, Hendricken. It was a nice try down there by Peter de Blasi. He was trying to get possession, but the officials say no. Barrington's still on the attack here. And it's going to be knocked way down by Hall, who comes back up. He takes the tip duties even at midfield, Cliff, as Barrington fights for possession. It's going to go over the sideline here. Last touch by Hendricken, and Barrington still has the offensive opportunity.
That was Steve Russell that headed that ball out. And remember, I told you, Steve is not well. I mean, he's playing with a temperature.
With the glasses there, is about to kick it is Tom Simon, receiving instructions from his coach, Ed Bradley, assistant coach Jay Primiano right next to him. As Simon gets it into the middle, ball is loose down there, always dangerous, but kicked out by Hendricken.
And Douglas was right there.
Always up around the ball. still Barrington possession. They've maintained control here for the last minute or so. First good opportunity here in the second half. Douglas again with a ball. He gets off a kick. It's just wide right, but you can tell what he can do with it. A good, strong chance.
He's dangerous and he's quick, and he got himself loose that time and got on the ball, and he's probably a little frustrated because he hasn't had the ball more than about 4 times in the game so far.
Handball there by Barrington. It's going to be Hendricken possession.
Now, a handball like that could have been called a yellow card because you're not supposed to do that. But
about the most blatant one we've seen so far. Again, Hendricken trying to control it. And attacking Barrington, but the Eagles get it out. They've got the 2-1 lead. By no means a safe margin. And Hendricken has had a better attacking opportunity late in the first half and here in the second half. They've come out showing that they want to get some offense going.
Barrington's starting to get a little better midfield play now. Number 10 in the center. Scott Peterson's starting to push the ball around a little bit. 27 on the right side. Formazano.
Dan Ford just pushed a little bit too much, so it's going to be Tom Simon taking the kick for Barrington. He played about 5 minutes here in the second half. Is Barrington really trying to get something going? He is marked. On the offense was Nick Formazano, who had the first goal, bumped off the ball, and we've got a kick coming up here. What did the referee rule on that one, sir? Is it a direct
check? Yes, it's a direct check because it was a trip, and it's one of those fouls you really don't want to have because that can cost you. You know, Barrington's already scored 1 goal on what we call a restart.
Okay, this could be
a restart.
This could be a play. It could be a kick right at the goal. No one else offensively has to touch it except the kicker, if I understand it right.
That's right.
And
there are any number of things you can do in this situation. You can try to curve it into a corner. My guess is Douglas is going to try to put it in a corner.
Scott Douglas takes it.
Yep,
you guessed right. Mercurio was right there, however. It was a nice curling kick. Not quite on. It would have been wide, but it was covered by Vic Mercurio, the senior goalkeeper for the Hendricken Hawks, and no damage done.
The idea is to put 4, 5, or 6 men in that wall, and they protect part of the goal while the goalie covers the other part. That's the whole idea behind the wall.
Hendricken trying to come down to attack, breaking free on the far side as Bobby Wallworth can't get anything going as he's marked well by Barrington.
Garrett Hall cleared it out again.
Hall, towards the end of the game, going to have to be watched. He is active everywhere, the main defender, and he might be getting a little tired towards the end of things here.
Now, throughout the country now, you're starting to see players that can throw that ball in 40, 50, 60 yards sometimes.
All right, Matt Douglas gets it off to Barrington. Hendricken had a brief flurry, but really nothing close in their own offensive end.
On a throw-in, for the information about fans, the ball has to go behind the head, and it has to be a follow-through with the ball coming from behind the head and straight overhand with both hands.
No behind-the-back.
No behind-the-back stuff. No putting one hand behind the ball or any fancy dancing.
Another little push here, so David Crouch, number 9 of Hendricken, seems to be the one lining things up. Now he gives way to teammate Peter DeBlasi.
Now this is the way Hendricken scored against South Kingston.
On a play similar to this, after South Kingstown in that Tuesday night semifinals had much the better of the opportunities, the offensive opportunities.
One ball like this, though, won it for Hendricken.
Again, DeBlasi kicks it up, puts it up for grabs. It's headed away, blocked in front as Hendricken continues to try to attack, but it's kicked out of it by Barrington, and the pressure is momentarily relieved. Back, a long pass out, true to its mark. Picking it up is Matt Masur. And Matt is trying to get something going on the far sideline. He takes it out.
One thing I notice about the Barrington backs, they're very aggressive when the ball's over in the wing areas at all, and they come right on you and go right after the ball. They're not going to let you have it.
Well, that was Jared Hall that made the nice play on the far side and gave Barrington the throw, and it's taken over by Hendricken here. And Barrington's trying to get something going, but again, Hendricken controls the ball. It's over the end line. This time, Barrington will get a chance to kick it well out of there and take some of the heat off.
Sometimes when you take long shots the way Hendricken has been taking them, you can get a little frantic and take too many of them and should move it in with a little bit better short passing. So I'd like to see Hendricken do that if they're going to get in and get a little bit tighter towards the goal.
Scott Diorsi and Peter Lagerson back in the ball game for the Hendricken Hawks. It was Diorsi who scored Hendricken's only goal in the first half. And it's still a 2-1 ball game with Barrington on top, but Hendricken getting the better of things here in the second half. 31 minutes, 43 seconds left to go in this Division I championship game. Live from Brown-Stevenson Field. I'm Rick O'Brien along with Cliff Stevenson. Glad to be able to bring it to you. taking over.
That was Tom Healy that cleared the ball out. He's doing a nice job. That back four, what we call the back four defenders for Barrington, are doing a nice job of containing a very strong Hendricken forward line.
Crouch tries to get it going for Hendricken. He's bumped off the ball. Oh, no, he's called for the infraction. And it's going to be a chance to bring it back for Barrington. Crouch getting a little more aggressive. He's playing in the middle, number 9, but he's been coming up quite a bit more. And there's a free kick, and a Hendricken defender takes it the hard way.
Rick, what do you think? Do you think Colbert and Douglas have said much to each other this afternoon? I mean, they're practically married to each other, right?
They're probably discussing things by ESP. Colbert has been with Douglas when he went off the field at halftime. He followed him. Now it's Barrington. Looks like they had a good opportunity to get something going, but we got a whistle to go back the other way. There was a trip or a little push on the previous play, and the kids didn't hear the whistle. Neither did we. So Hendricken's going to kick it back. As time winds down here, Cliff, we've got 30 minutes, certainly plenty of time to go, but when do you think Hendricken's going to have to start pulling out some of the stops and really get...
Well, I think if they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. They're making a rush, getting some shots. They're attacking the cage. They just can't give up another goal. They're going to be in trouble if they give up another goal.
Lead pass. Barrington tries to control, but it breaks free, and it's going to be Hendricken taking over in the corner. As Matt Douglas gives chase. And it goes off Matty's foot. It'll be a throw-in for Hendricken. Crouch again controlling the ball for the Hawks. He'll take it back and try and get something going. No, he just gives up on it. And perhaps wisely, with Matt Douglas sneaking around there after the ball, gives it back to the goalkeeper, Vic Mercurio, who boots it out.
Well, like yesterday, Rick, we were a tie ball game, 8 minutes to play against probably the 5th-ranked team in the country, the Ivy League champion. I could have played for a tie, but we were 1-1 with 8 minutes to play. I didn't want that. We wanted to win, and we got caught up, and they ended up coming down with a fast break, and that's how they got that goal. And then we came on strong at the end. We missed a head ball goal like we saw today, but ours didn't go in.
Season's over.
We lost.
Season's over, and your team, I believe, ended up with a 7-7 record?
Right, and we played very well. We felt we could have won every one of the games we lost.
All right, Hendricken gets it down. It's going to make it into the corner as Simon buys for it. Now it's up to the official to decide who touched that one last. It's apparently Hendricken did, because it's going to be Barrington kicking it out of there. All right, the score is Barrington High School 2, Hendricken High School 1. Second half, 28:53 left to go, and we'll be right back to Stevenson Field after this.
People. They're what makes a good company great. At Metropolitan, we believe people to be the most precious of resources. People create progress, instill spirit. People care. That's why you'll see the lights burning late at night at our Warwick headquarters. Take a close look at Metropolitan. You'll see why we're more than just an insurance company. People. It's what we're all about.
Bobby Wallwork on the field. I just noticed Wallwork was out there stretching for the Hendricken Hawks. Cliff, it's cool. There's really not that much of a breeze, and I know the kids are well warmed after three-quarters, well, not quite three-quarters of the game gone by, but chance of things could cramp up on a couple of them?
Oh, yeah, very definitely. With fatigue coming on, that's the biggest cause, greatest cause of cramps is fatigue, and then cold brings them on even more so. But I don't think it's cold enough to really cause that kind of a problem.
Out in front it goes as Hendricken tries to get it going. Crouch with the ball now. Number 9 kicks it, but it's weak and just trickles in on Chris Darling. And a little pushing and shoving going on here, but the players are walking away from each other. A quick shove, and he's got a yellow card here, and I don't know who got called. Is that Crouch who got the card?
Well, that's Crouch. He got a little frustrated in there. He couldn't get the shot off, and they're down 2-1, and he kind of took a little frustrating kick at the Barrington player when the Barrington player was on the ground, and the referee caught him.
I guess that was Tom Healy for Barrington as he was getting up, and he wisely, right after the infraction, turned and walked away.
Yeah.
And made Crouch look a little guiltier than perhaps he was, but Crouch was caught by the officials. A yellow card, a warning. He's still in there. But no more. Crouch races for the ball, nearly a collision as bodies go flying.
See, they're playing very, very, very aggressive, and frustration can come out, and you can have that type of thing happen.
That was Crouch who got it away, as he's just everywhere on the ball now. 28-10 left to go in the contest. And Hendricken's trying to mount some offense. Perhaps tie this thing up. Barrington leading 2-1. Here comes the attack. Scott Douglas gets it up to his brother Matt on the right wing. Oh, and he just couldn't quite get his foot on it cleanly and kicked it wide to the right.
Well, that's what Barrington's got to try to do. Get that ball on the ground to Douglas and let him go at that man for man, one-on-one we call it, and let him do something with it like that.
Douglas to Douglas. Matthew wears number 3. He is the sophomore halfback. Scott Douglas is the forward, wearing number 4. He is a junior. Both of those guys back to Coach Ed Bradley next year at Barrington. Stopping the play again as it's going to go back the other way.
Well, they call a push on the head ball.
So we've got Tom Simon, senior midfielder, placing the ball. I don't know if Tom will take it. No, he won't. That is Jared Hall. He does the honors on the kicks, too, even at midfield. He's been the key defender for Barrington today. And one of the reasons the Eagles have a 2-1 lead. Barrington tries to control here. Nick Formazano, one of the goal scorers, fancily gets by his man, still can't do anything. He's trying to get Brian Boone again. Cutting across the middle. Boone back in the ball game. Formazano still has control. Now it goes to Matt Douglas. He's trying to break free, but it's kicked out of there nicely by Bob Copabianco for the Hawks. Now Barrington getting a little more organized as they hold on to it. Healy falls down, can't control, and it's back to midfield, and a break here for Hendricken as they go on the attack.
Nice defensive play by Russell that time.
All right, Bill Rattel was the guy who just tripped and offered his hand to the Barrington player that went down. That looked like Greg Howe. And taking a kick is Jared Hall for Barrington as he gets it up. And once again, they try and get the offense, but it's cleared out by the Hendricken defenders. Ball back at midfield, and somebody's going to try and set something up here. The race for the ball is won by no one. A push underneath by Simon, and it's going to go as an opportunity for Hendricken to get some offense going here as they'll have the ball inside the midfield stripe, and David Crouch is going to line it up.
Hendricken needs to spread out their offense a little bit and get out in those wing areas. See, they've really never tested out there. What we call using the width of the field.
Well, they had Bobby Wall work in the center, their key goal scorer, but he has been very well marked and hasn't had an opportunity to really get a good shot on goal today as the ball goes over the near sideline. It's still Hendricken's possession.
Rick, one factor may be Hendricken they're building a new field over at Hendricken High School, but they've been playing on their narrow football field, and they're used to attacking in a narrow area, so they're probably geared in not to do that.
All right, we have something. Tom Simon for Barrington called, and I believe we've got a direct kick coming from right out in front.
And here it's important for the referee to move the ball where it's supposed to be and then mark 10 yards in all directions.
All right, so that little line of
Barrington's about 6
has to be back, and he'll move them back.
He won't move them back like in college play. They won't move them back unless you ask them to.
All right, it's taken care of here, Bill. I believe it's a direct
Now, what are you going to do, Rick?
Well, it's a direct kick, so there's plenty of opportunities here. You got two guys back there. Number 24 is Peter Ladgeson and David Cross. It's going to be Ladgeson, apparently, that's going to take this kick. And you've also got somebody sneaking around on the right wing. Let's see what they're trying to do. They go for a direct kick, bang it into the line, and Ladgeson can't get it done. What were they trying to do?
He whacked it right into the wall, and Jared Hall just banged it right back out of there.
Was he trying to go over the wall?
Well, yeah, I think he was. I think he was trying to get over it or through it.
He has Bill Rattel on the right side, breaking for the net, but the ball never got past that wall, so Barrington gets to get out. Now it's taken over by Hendricken again in the middle. Scuffle for the ball in a very dangerous zone, and it's kicked out of there wisely. Once again by a Barrington defender, and Matt Douglas keeps it in play. No, he doesn't. So we got two balls on the field here. We're going to have to stop something. And then the ball that was hit midfield.
That's kind of curious. That was amazing, huh? There were two balls being played.
And play continued. The one that was really in play was down in the corner, the one our cameras was on, but we had a momentary lapse here at midfield where somebody thought it was going to be a throw-in from the sidelines, and two balls were down there. But it's okay now, all sorted out, and it looks like a good offensive opportunity for Hendricken High School. David Crouch is going over there. And he's going to lay it out in front. Oh, it's loose. It's headed and stopped nicely by Darling. A second shot is no good.
Oh, and he tied it up.
Shot is good. Hendricken has tied the ball game. I believe Billy O'Rourke, the junior halfback, Junior midfielder is going to get credit for that. I believe he was the last one. He had 2 or 3 quick shots.
The third shot in there, and it was a ricochet. It's hard to get it out. The goalie was caught in between, and finally banged it in.
Well, until we hear differently, he's coming over the sidelines. There he is. It's going to be Bill O'Rourke, who ties the ball game. 23 minutes, 31 seconds left to go, and we got a 2-2 contest between Barrington and Hendricken. We'll be right back to Stevenson Field.
A message about dependability from the Metropolitan Insurance Companies. Some things in life are constant, like the sun rising every day. And just as you can depend on that, you can depend on Metropolitan to really stand by you. Over 47 million people know that when they need us, we're there. Like the sun rising, you can count on Metropolitan. For life, health, auto, home, and retirement, Metropolitan really stands by you.
All right, it is Billy O'Rourke for Hendricken. There's the shot. You're going to see a pile up in the middle. It bounces through. Someone gets a great kick that Darling stops, but not that one.
At 21.
Bill O'Rourke, who just lifts it over Chris Darling's head, and in that frenzy down there, that was a nice little kick because he could have easily
Very definitely.
kicked it over the net.
A poised play in a very tight situation.
So it's tied 2-2. We've only got 23 minutes, 31 seconds to decide this thing, and Barrington, after having a 2-0 lead, is going to be thinking, and maybe perhaps playing a little bit scared right now, as Hendricken scored the last 2.
Now, there's the wing play I was talking about. That's what they... Now, that was a bad cross. We'd probably like to get that back, but I think they need to do more of that.
Well, that try out of bounds. It will be a Barrington free kick. The goal scorer so far for Barrington, Nick Formazano and Brian Boone, both in the first half. Scott Diorsi got one back for Hendricken in the first half. Just moments ago, Bill O'Rourke tied this thing at 2. And it's a bit early, Cliff, but when we get to about the 10-minute mark, I'm going to make you explain the playoff procedure.
Well, I think we probably going to go to sudden death, right?
After 2 of those, yep. We might even go to a shootout. But so far in the second half, Hendricken has definitely had the better of the offensive play. Barrington not quite as organized as in the first half, and Hendricken's trying to get it going again. Coming away with the ball for Barrington is Nick Formazano, but Hendricken keeps it in that end to keep the pressure on as Simon tries to get it out of there. He's got it up to Douglas. Douglas with a back kick can't get it out of their own end, but the infraction is against Hendricken. A little push, so it'll be Douglas. Scott Douglas kicking it for the Eagles as they try and get some more offensive opportunities going here in the second half. They've been pretty well handled by the Hendricken defense. It's Tom Simon coming up to the ball as Barrington heads for the nets. Defenders for Hendricken back there. Douglas can't control it. That's his brother Matt Douglas, who he can't control it, and ridden off by David Crouch of Hendricken. Crouch looking for his winger, Bill Rattel on the right side. Bill gets it way up, but it's over the sideline. It'll be a toss-in for Barrington High School. 21-44 left to go in the contest, and nothing's been decided so far. 2-2 ball game. Toss in by Barrington, but Hendricken takes over. Once again, they try and get some offense going. Bobby Wall worked with the ball, but he is marked well. And the ball was taken away. Nice defensive play by Tom Healy of Barrington.
Now here, conditioning is going to be a factor in these last 20 minutes. So we'll see if Hendricken is in better condition than Barrington.
Are you surprised that we haven't seen very many substitutions, really?
Right. Just a couple of players shuttling in, certain players in, certain players out. I think maybe they've used two players each, maybe 3. But interesting enough, the reserves have been instrumental in 2 of the goals being scored.
Well, again, it's over the sideline off of Barrington. Hendricken throws it in, trying to get their offense continuing to pressure. It may come down to a break. It may come down to an infraction in front. It's a 2-2 game. And they've got 20 minutes to resolve this here. At Stevenson Field, Brown University, Rick O'Brien and Cliff Stevenson glad to bring this one to. Ball is loose in front, headed away by Barrington. Hendricken gets another kick on there, and it's not handled by Darling as the ball is loose, but he recovers and covers up. That was a quick little shot by Scott Diorsi of Hendricken. who just spun around and kicked it toward the goal mouth, and it sort of might have had a chance as Darling misplayed it in the Barrington goal.
Rick, the procedure, if we do go into overtime, there'll be 2 10-minute overtime periods.
Barrington now with a chance just wide to the right. A nice long shot taken by, I don't have that gentleman.
And the word I get is that it's not going to be, it will not be sudden death.
Oh, okay, they'll have to play a 10-minute overtime period. And Cliff, you're going to have to help me identify that player wearing number 22. I don't have him on the official roster. I don't have him on my roster. And I don't see him down on yours. Here he is. Got Barrington back on the attack.
Number 22 for Barrington is Mark Shreve.
Mark Shreve just had a long shot just wide to the right. As Vic Mercurio with a Hendricken goal. Seemed to be just a tad, a beat late getting to that one, but it was wide. Back we go on the other end of the field. Hendricken trying to take over the ball. They control it, but it's out in front. Healy kicks it away for the Eagles. Take that, Jared Hall wearing number 12. Healy and Simon are back there occasionally. I see Simon on the near side. He's marking Bobby Walworth, or Scott Diorsi rather. He's staying with him wherever he goes. It's man for man here. They're going to have to be careful and not let anybody break free in front of the goal.
Here I think we have a free kick coming up, Hendricken, and they're dangerous on these free kicks. They got some height. They're bringing up their sweeper back.
Now, this is essentially a corner kick, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very much so. The only thing is there can be an offside here.
Kick taken from the point of infraction, and it's out in front. Very dangerous time as Chris Darling punches it out of there for Barrington. It's still control is maintained by Hendricken as they keep it in the zone, but now Douglas comes out with it. He's breaking on the right-hand side. Defender Kevin Colbert is straight with him for Hendricken, and Colbert knocked it out of bounds to allow his teammates to get back on defense. Douglas tosses it in. Controlling things for Barrington is Nick Formazano. Has one of the goals, but he's broken up. He gets back and tries to take over. Heavy collision here between Formazano and Scott Diorsi. And both the coaches, Mickey Hurley for Hendricken points down that way. Ed Bradley for Barrington points that way. And this time Bradley gets the call.
Rick, I just checked. It is sudden death. Those 10-minute overtimes are periods of sudden death before it goes to penalty kicks.
We've got 17:35 to go before we have to reach that point. But the 2-2 ball game and the way that's gone here in the second half, you have to consider it. Douglas heads it away into the middle. Nobody there for Barrington as Hendricken's trying to clear it out and regroup defensively. Controlled by Barrington. Formazano still has it. He has a goal from the first half. Can't get a kick off, but I believe that is off the Hendricken defender. We're going to go over a corner kick.
An interesting sideline is that Kevin Colbert, who's done a great job in covering Douglas, he doesn't fool around with the ball. He just puts it right out of bounds and figures, hey, I'm not even going to try to dribble with it.
Okay, I can't see over in the corner. I believe it is Scott Douglas who's going to take this one. It is. Matt Douglas, his brother, is in the middle. They've got Simon up there. They've got Colbert up there, all the big guys. But they can't get anything going as the ball ricochets around, and it's cleared out momentarily by Hendricken. Again, a nice, strong tackle down there. That a little too strong. It goes out of bounds off the Barrington defender. It's a toss in for Hendricken. Barrington now keeping the ball in the attacking zone. Formazano controls. Tries to set up a play. He's got Boone down on the right. He's got Douglas in the middle. As Formazano gets a little bit, takes an extra step. Doesn't get that pass off and loses control of the ball. But saved by Barrington. Back on the attack. Almost into Douglas, who was behind the defender, but the Hendricken defense is held.
Rick, there's a saying I have with my team. There's no one out there tiptoeing through the tulips. They are playing aggressive.
A lot of pumping and anxious soccer players trying to be the first guy to get to the ball. And right now, I would say that play is back to even. Hendricken came out here in the second half with a better offensive opportunities. Might be shifting towards Barrington a little bit as Simon gets tricky way out. Number 17 wearing the glasses. It's down to Boone on the left side. Boone's got himself a goal in the first half. It's out in the middle. Barrington still controls as finally the Hendricken defense kicks it away. And Jared Hall puts it right back in play with Boone getting it back over onto the wing.
Hendricken has had a tendency now to just sit back a little bit. And Barrington's coming out a little bit stronger with a little short passing from the midfield and going outside. side.
That is Tom Simon, who is sagging back defensively in the first part of the second half. Now he's back on the attack. They put the ball into play a little too quickly as substitutions are coming in for Hendricken. See number 18 coming back on the field.
We have a couple of statistics. So far, Hendricken's had 16 shots. 8 of them have been on the goal, and Barrington's had 10 with 6 of them on the goal.
But the one stat that really matters, 2-2 on the scoreboard. Dangerous shot. Big Vic Mercurio is there to control it. Little bumping. Quick whistle and an authoritative whistle by the official. No damage done. Mercurio with a save will get a chance to kick it out of there.
That's very important for a goalie to have sure hands and stuff like that. That's the ball game. If the ball comes in like that and the goalie drops it. But the referees have to protect the goalie. See, they blew that whistle right away because he got bumped a little bit.
Now, if he had lost control of it when he was bumped, is the ball in play?
No. We have free kick coming from there.
Okay.
Fouls so far, 26 to 22. Barrington's had 26 fouls called against him. Hendricken 22. So they're even there.
Just about even. In fact, a little surprising maybe that Barrington has been that aggressive as Hendricken came out with the bigger defensive reputation. And Hendricken now on the offense once again as the shot was tried to lay it across the middle, but it goes off the Barrington defender over the end line, and that's going to give Hendricken a corner kick from the far side. Bill Rattel is setting it up for Hendricken, but David Crouch is jogging over there like he may be taking the kick, as we'll have to watch in front of the Barrington goal to see what the strategy is going to be for Hendricken. 2-2 ball game, just under 14 minutes left to go as they set things up for the Hendricken corner kick, and now it appears
they were going to do what we call a short corner kick. They had 2 players over there. They're going to pass it to him and let him dribble it in, but they're not going to do that now. They're going to bang that ball right across. Now,
okay,
here again, it's important to put it in head high. It's got to be about 6 foot 1 inch.
We've had a stoppage in play, so we'll use this opportunity to pause for this brief message.
A 500,000 Americans are imprisoned in wheelchairs. Other millions suffer related paralysis. But successful experiments backed by the Spinal Cord Society enable people to pedal, stand, and walk by computer control. For information and a free copy of the Spinal Cord newsletter, just write Box 69, Minneapolis, Minnesota 55445, or call toll-free 800-328-8253. You can help the drive toward cure, not just care, come true.
It's going to be a corner kick for Hendricken, and it looks as though Bill Rattel will do the honors as it's a 2-2 ball game. Barrington squandering a 2-goal lead. Hendricken coming on with a vengeance late in the first half and early here in the second half. Only 13:56 left to go. Another offensive opportunity for Hendricken. Oh, they kept it low, and good defensive move there by Scott Peterson of Barrington. They may have gotten away with a little push, but it was a nice play to get the ball clear, and it takes the heat off of his goalkeeper, Chris Darling.
Now here Barrington moved out. It's very important to come out of there quickly when the ball moves downfield, and they caught Hendricken offside on the play, which is a smart play.
So Barrington gets the free kick and boots it downfield. Barrington's had a couple of offensive chances recently, but in the second half, the majority of play has been in favor of Hendricken, I believe. They have scored the last 2 goals. We stand tied. Heavy collision at midfield there. Kevin Colbert coming in hard, and going down for Barrington was Brad Anger. But apparently both are okay. He's shaking it off, and Tom Simon's going to place the ball and take this free kick.
It's interesting to see a matchup like that with Colbert and Douglas struggling with each other the whole game.
Ball is loose in front, headed away. Another bump. And it's going to go back down the other way as the officials say that Shreve came in and was a little bit too aggressive trying to head that ball and maintain control. So Hendricken will take it back out. It's Vic Mercurio, the goalkeeper, who hasn't had too much pressure here in the second half.
Made one great save on that corner kick, but other than that, he hasn't had to make any diving saves.
Matt Douglas tries to control, cannot do it as Hendricken takes over.
Now, see, that was a very nice play, but then they tossed the ball up.
Still controlled by Hendricken. Rattel cuts across and gets a shot on Chris Darling, who maintains it.
I think they should have brought that ball in that time. They had a 6-on-5 situation, and they should have brought it in.
Perhaps fatigue and...
Well, also they want to shoot, and the fact that they did shoot, they scored the first goal on a play like that.
All right, Hendricken still controlling things back on the far side, but it's taken away now by Barrington. Now David Crouch, who's always around the ball at midfield, kicks it down for Hendricken, but it's going to go it's over the end line. A free kick, a goal kick coming up for Barrington High School. No substitutions. Brian Boone is coming back into the game for Hendricken. I believe I saw Billy O'Rourke say they're coming out for Barrington is Brad Anger. So Boone, who has a goal in the first half, is back into the contest, and Anger is going to take a rest.
If you really analyze the game, you'd see Crouch and the two center midfielders, Crouch and Peterson, always on the ball somewhere because they're key players.
Dangerous chance. Matt Masur pulling across in front, but it was punched away by Darling. The ball was very high, but dropped right at the edge of the goal. And luckily, Darling from Barrington got to it and punched it out of there. And now his teammates, the Eagles, control it, but it's broken up in midfield by Hendricken. Boone can't control, knocked away by Hendricken. Formazano tries to take over. I believe a handball whistle by the official, so it's going to be Barrington taking over just inside the midfield logo. It is a 2-2 soccer contest. This for the Division I championship. Barrington had a 2-goal lead in the first half. Goals, it looked as though coming fast and furious for the Eagles, and now they get a chance in the middle. A shot and a score!
Now, see, again, that was Douglas. The second time in the game, he got loose like that, took it to the baseline, brought it in towards the cage, and passed it across, and it was an easy goal going in.
Somewhat similar to the first goal, only this time Nick Formazano on the finishing end didn't have to head it in. It was down on the ground. Here we go with a replay clip. Take a look at this one.
See, and he's the right midfielder driving in on that side. Hendricken really couldn't do anything about it.
No, he had the defender beaten just barely, but he got his foot to the ball first. And then we see from another angle, just getting inside that right goal post. And Nick Formazano is having himself a great afternoon as the junior from Barrington now has 2 goals. More importantly, that gives Barrington a 3-2 lead with 10:27 left to go in the game.
And as I said earlier, the key is getting the ball on the ground to Douglas and let him do his thing.
All of a sudden, as I say, the Hendrickens had the better of the offensive play in the afternoon. One quick pass, one quick kick, and Barrington's back out in front. The scoreboard has not put that goal up yet, but I did not see anything to the contrary on the field. Barrington now tries to come down for a second chance, but it's booted out of there by Hendricken. Crouch with the ball at midfield. Still not up there. As it's off over the sideline, it's going to be a toss-in for Barrington High School.
It'll take a few minutes for Hendricken to come back from that. That was a stunning goal against them, but they'll be really coming on hard now in the end.
Now it's official. It's up on the scoreboard. Barrington 3, Hendricken 2. We're under 10 minutes. 9:40 left to play in this championship game. And all of a sudden, I would imagine a goal like that is just going to give a little spark of adrenaline to the Barrington kids who...
Well, Barrington can afford to get the ball now and then do what I call diddle around with it. Bring it out and pass it here, pass it there.
Kill some time. You call that ragging in soccer as well?
It's like that diddling, right?
Johnny Most. A weak header goes in and over the end line. No real threat there for Hendricken. Chris Darling had the corner covered in the Barrington nets. Coming back into the contest for Barrington is Brad Anger. And in for Hendricken is number 19, Scott Diorsi. We get a stoppage in play. 9:12 left to go in the contest. Barrington leads Hendricken 3-2, and we'll take this short break.
At Metropolitan, we get involved in our Special Olympics soccer program, which gives handicapped individuals a chance to compete and have fun. In our holiday hotline, which opens our phones to senior citizens at Christmas to call their loved ones wherever they are. Take a close look. Involvement makes us more than just an insurance company.
We're Metropolitan.
People who really stand by you.
40 feet away from me. You kidding me?
All right, that tells you everything. Barrington's got the lead. All Hendricken has to do is get a goal, and they'll keep playing here at Brown University Stevenson Field. This is the Division I high school soccer championship game. And right now, Barrington is in the driver's seat with a 3-2 lead. That last goal, very nicely done. Once again, across the middle. As for the second time in the game, Formazano scored. Hendricken back on the attack now, controlling the ball on the near side. Now broken up by Tom Simon.
Nice play. Simon is the one that stopped Louis Espinal.
And he almost sent Scott Douglas away. There's Douglas with the ball. Tricky little player, but he can't maintain possession. Crouch knocks it out of bounds, and Simon's going to throw it in for Barrington.
Douglas is only a junior. He has another year.
And his
Simon is
brother,
a senior.
His brother is a sophomore. Garrett Hall, another freshman also. Barrington on the attack. Hendricken, rather, as the ball is at the attempt to control it down there. Oh, a nice, tricky little pass. Beautiful job done down there by Bobby Walworth, who couldn't maintain control, but while the ball was in the air, saw an opportunity to get a pass across. Unfortunately, nobody was able to finish it off.
I think the other Hendricken forwards were a little bit surprised by that he was able to get that ball up and over.
He was being challenged and challenged strongly by the Barrington defender. I believe it's the guy who's still with him walking across the field, Tom Healy. But Walworth, with the ball in the air, made a nice pass. Unfortunately, his teammates just couldn't get to the right position. And Barrington's trying to get out of this end. Now they're defending. But once again, Walworth and teammates are keeping the pressure on for Hendricken. There's a clearing pass by Barrington. And it's way downfield. The race is on between Scott Douglas and Vic Mercurio in the Hendricken goal. Mercurio wins that one relatively easily. And the threat goes by. 7:26 left to go in the contest.
A nice clear that last time by Jared Hall. For a sophomore, he plays very, very intelligent.
Scott Douglas with the ball on the near side. He's still being marked closely by Kevin Colbert. Douglas still has the ball, gets it over to Formazano. Formazano has some room to maneuver. He's got a couple of guys going for the nets. It's off of Crouch, and it'll be a toss in for Barrington. Formazano now. These two guys, number 27, Formazano, and number 4, Douglas, have combined twice this afternoon. And the last combination gives the Barrington Eagles an edge as Simon controls but can't do anything with it. Crouch tries to kick it out, and it's back into the Hendricken attack zone. As the Hendricken Hawks have a chance right here. Walworth moving down. Scott Diorsi gets the shot off.
The shot hard enough.
Diorsi worked his way into the middle after getting that pass, but Chris Darling came back and had a relatively easy save straight on. Dangerous play, those Diorsi get down there with the ball and had a little operating room.
Yeah. You hate to see, Coach hates to see those scoring opportunities go by the board, but he made a nice play. He just couldn't get enough foot on the ball. He couldn't get enough power into it.
Over the sidelines up to Hendricken. It's going to be a Barrington throw in. Now we're down to 6 minutes, 10 seconds. That's what's left for Hendricken to get something in the nets and tie this thing up, or for Barrington to defend and become the Division I state champion. Another little push here. And I believe that's Diorsi or Walworth. It's Diorsi who's unhappy with the call, but it's going to go back the other way. And Jared Hall is going to take the
he
kick.
thought there was obstruction, and he pushed.
Collision between Colbert and Boone, but the ball is kicked back into the attack zone for the Hendricken Hawks. On the far side, Scott Peterson takes over for Barrington, and I'm sure they've got instructions now to get that ball out of that zone as quickly as possible, out of that end of the field. And now it's up to Hendricken to maintain control and keep the pressure on. They're running out of time.
Hendricken to move upfield with their backs to support their line so they don't lose the ball easily.
Matt Douglas can't control the ball. Hendricken still on the attack. They can't control it, but they have an opportunity. Masur gets it down in the middle. Jared Hall kicks it away again.
They're going to go wide. They're not going to go flying up the middle.
Masur's kick was a loose one. Nobody was down there to receive it. And right now the battle to control is at midfield, and that's working in Barrington's favor. Under 5 minutes to go. 3-2 the Eagles.
When in doubt, kick it out, Rick.
And here's a toss in for Hendricken. Barrington getting its defense organized. Long toss in is controlled momentarily by the Hawks, but now kicked away nicely by Barrington, and it's frustration time for Hendricken. They have got to maintain control and get some quick, short passes and get something going in the front.
Out.
Barrington's playing the defensive postures. Cliff mentioned it's going to be an opportunity here, though. A good one coming up for Hendricken as we're going to get a corner kick. I can't make out that number. They're too far away. Peter Landerson, I believe, is over there for Hendricken. I think that is Peter.
Now here's where you just don't know what can happen in a situation that Hendricken's got everybody in there.
Well, the ball was up there, but it never made it really in front as it was headed away nicely by, I think, Simon Peterson.
Peterson's come on strong here. He's clearing a lot of balls out. He's all over the place. Center midfielder.
Well, he made the right play as far as the Eagles fans are concerned because they have a one-goal lead, and Hendricken's only got 3.5 minutes to go to tie it up and perhaps get it into overtime and still have a chance. Got Douglas controlling on the far side. He breaks past his defenders, got a couple guys in the middle. His Boone is free now. Douglas operating uncontested. Shot is blocked as he gets off a rifle-like shot. But it was blocked by a defender in the middle. Douglas got it right back again.
Boy, you can see his quickness. He's dangerous. And actually, the defender on him has done a really good job of covering him. And twice he got away with that ball, went to the baseline, put it across, 2 goals.
You can see the strong kick, too. A very strong foot as Douglas tried to get one on goal. It was blocked. And he couldn't maintain control. That's Douglas again, tries to pass it to himself. A little heel, a little kick pass. Doesn't work. Simon gets it back down into the zone. Barrington now has the attack, and Hendricken's being frustrated. Barrington controlling on the far side. That is Brad Anger with the ball, and he's trying to waste some time. That's all. Take the seconds off the clock. We got 2:38 to go. And Hendricken finally does kick it out to get things stopped here. The clock keeps going, but the play is stopped. And it's going to, it was ruled. I don't know what it was ruled, but for some reason Vic Mercurio is going to kick it out here.
In a case like this, the referees have got to really watch it because a team can stall it right down by putting subs in. They just wasted 10, 12 seconds right there without any play going on. So they're going to stop the clock in a situation like that.
Boone's in. Brad Anger is back out for Barrington, and now the only thing the Eagles have to do is keep the ball in midfield and keep that clock running. Hendricken maybe get one more chance here, as this could be their final chance. Under 2 minutes to go in the contest, and they're on the attack. There's a long kick. Oh, the angle just a little bit too much. I think Chris Darling in goal looked a little surprised on that one.
Yes, he did, and the ball was curving away from him. Hendricken thought it hit his hand, but it didn't. It's actually just, he didn't even touch it.
Oh, a dangerous chance there. But the Eagles survived that one, and there's a minute 30 in this contest as Chris Darling's going to kick it out of there. No, that's not Chris. But again, it's Jared Hall kicking it out for the Eagles. I'm sure Darling in nets doesn't want to see another foray like that by Hendricken. Barrington with control now. Anger deep in the corner. He's got a man open in the middle, but coming out is Mercurio to knock it away. And there was a real good chance there for Shreve cutting across, but he couldn't get to the ball quick enough. Mercurio beat him. And here we go. 1 minute straight up left to go in this contest. And Hendricken has the ball. On the attack on the far wing, on the left wing, it comes down too far ahead over the end line. Barrington's going to get to kick it out of there, and I'm sure there'll be no hurry to kick this one.
Well, Mickey Rooney's down there saying, settle it down. In a situation like that, get a little too excited, try to bang it up there a little too far.
Clock is running, 37 seconds left to go in the contest. Barrington with the lead, 3-2. As Hendricken may get a desperation attempt here. It's blocked at midfield, but taken over by Barrington. And the pass up is handball. So Barrington maintains control, and I believe unless Hendricken gets something going and take over possession here, that is going to do it. And they're not going to with Douglas on the far side taking over. The ball is kicked out of bounds. The clock is running. 10 seconds. You can hear the crowd counting it down. The Barrington High School Eagles are going to be the Division I champions this year. We we celebrate, as the Barrington Eagles celebrate on the field, we will have the award ceremony, a recap of the game, go down the scoring list and all of that, coming right up after this message.
A message about dependability from the metropolitan insurance companies. Some things in life are constant, like the sun rising every day. And just as you can depend on that, you can depend on Metropolitan to really stand by you. Over 47 million people know that when they need us, we're there. Like the sun rising, you can count on Metropolitan. For life, health, auto, home, and retirement, Metropolitan really stands by you.
We're late. We'll have to fly.
Drive within the speed limit. We'll get there.
But I just spent $25 on these tickets.
You'll get a $50 ticket if we get caught for speeding.
We won't get
The
stopped.
cruisers are everywhere. Police stop thousands of people every month. Mellow out. Do you know what that does to your insurance?
My father will kill me.
Can you live with all that?
No. I'll drive 55. I can live with that.
55, a number you can live with.
Drive yourself to think.
From the Governor's Highway Safety Bureau.
There's the final score. You know who the Division I high school champion is this year. Barrington High School with a 3-2 victory. And Cliff Stevenson, I think a darn well-played contest here.
I thought it was a great game, and there was something of everything in there. Some great goalie plays, there were great head balls, there were good tackles, there were good defensive play, good offensive play. It was just a great game.
Okay.
And Barrington, the way they played, deserved to win it.
Well, we'll show you the winning goal. Here it comes right here. Nice play.
Well, here's
Take it
Douglas
over.
got loose, second time in the game, went to the baseline, played it smart. He got his head up, he put it right on the ground across, he didn't shoot, and there is the right midfielder,
Nick Formazano.
right there again.
Now, Cliff says again because this happened in the first half. Formazano in the first half got there a little bit quicker and headed the ball in. This time, as you said, the ball was low along the ground, giving everybody defensive fits, and they just scored it through there for Formazano to
it was
kick it
just a
home.
really smart play by both of the players, and that's the most dangerous play in soccer.
And as it turns out, all Barrington had to do after that is just maintain possession of the ball, try and kick things out, keep the ball in play at midfield. And Hendricken had a couple of chances, but they couldn't bang it home, as I believe we've got some excited folks down on the field who in a couple of moments are going to get some trophies. The goal scoring today, real easy for Barrington in the first half, under the 5-minute mark, 4:29, Nick Formazano on a nice pass from Scott Douglas. And a little bit later on, at the 21-minute mark, Brian Boone, just into the ball game, scored for Barrington again, and it was a 2-0 Barrington Eagle lead. Now, at that point, it looked as though Barrington, with the offensive edge, was going to take over and perhaps blow Hendricken out. What did Hendricken do to get back in the game?
Well, Hendricken really came back strong, started to shoot from just about anywhere, and one of those goals finally paid off by their substitute, who knocked in about a 25-yarder, and they were back in the game.
And then another quick goal. That was Scott Diorsi to get Hendricken's first one. Billy O'Rourke got the second one coming in the second half, making it a 2-2 ball game. But the only one that really counts here after it was tied at 2 was Nick Formazano's second goal of this contest. And you see it there on the screen. Barrington 3, Hendricken 2. And the Hendricken Hawks have been here, let's see now, 3 times in the last 4 years. They were not here last year. We had Bristol and Central Falls last year, with Central Falls eventually winning this contest. And 2 years ago, I remember Hendricken in a very, very tight defensive struggle. And they have a multitude, a raft of playoff championship experience, but for the second year in a row, they just haven't been able to get that good break.
I think Barrington beating Central Falls, because Central Falls was kind of the favorite of everybody that figured they were going to go all the way. And I think the fact that they beat them in a tough game last week helped them in this game to come through in the end.
All right, you said it before, too. Barrington has a relatively young team. A lot of the names that you've heard frequently this afternoon, especially the Douglases, Scott and Matt, and some of the defenders. I know Derek Hall, Healy, Simon. There are guys out there who are coming back. Douglases are juniors and sophomores. We're going to see this team again.
Very definitely. The sweeper back, Jared Hall, played an exceptional game, and Douglas is probably the most exciting player in the state, other than Espinal, and you could see what he could do with the ball, and he's only a junior.
Okay, Cliff, what we're going to do before we come back for the award ceremony on the field, we'll take a short break, but we'll tell you again, Barrington's won it. They are the state Division I soccer champions. 3-2 was the final score. We're right back for the award ceremony.
enterprise. More than 600,000 strong, minority-owned businesses have emerged as a dynamic force in our nation's economy. If our country is to remain the world leader in technology, innovation, and productivity, we must ensure that all Americans are involved in our economic progress. It's a challenge, but American minority entrepreneurs are making it possible every day. Minority enterprise. The more it develops, the greater it gets.
The new Division I state champions are down on the field, and the awards ceremony just about set to get underway. Down there also is Bob Fitch, Corporate Relations Manager with Metropolitan Insurance Companies, and Bob will make the presentation. Take it away, Bob.
On behalf of the Metropolitan Insurance Companies, it is my honor today to present this trophy to the Division I state champions, Barrington High School, and its coach, Ed Bradley. Ed? Thank you very much. And for the Most Valuable Player Award, it's number 10 from Barrington, Scott Peterson. Scott? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. And now back to the booth. Back to Rick O'Brien.
All right there, Bob. Thank you. Scott, obviously not a man of many words, but I think that's great that a defensive player or a more defensive-minded player gets the Most Valuable Player Award.
Well, you know, you don't have a very good team unless you have a center midfielder, and both of those center midfielders did a nice job, and they're kind of sometimes hidden in the center of the field. You don't notice them as much, but as I mentioned with about 10 minutes to go, that he started to take control of the center of the field, and that made a big difference in the victory.
Well, no reflection on any of the other players. It could have gone to
no, I think there were 5 or 6 other players that could have been an MVP also.
So let's suffice it to say, just a magnificent team effort by Barrington High School. Hendricken was known as the defensive team in this game, Barrington on the attack, and it just turned out to be a 3-2 contest. We have another award, I understand, down on the field, so I'm going to spin around here and take a look and see what we got coming up here. And I believe it's Eric Wertheimer is the man with the microphone. He is the commissioner of soccer for the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, and I'll toss it on down to Eric.
I'd like to, at this time, on behalf of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, present the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Soccer Championships State Runner-Up Trophy. Mickey, you had a great team. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. And congratulations to you and your fine team for the Runner-Up Award. Coach Bradley, on behalf of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, we have the state championship plaque. Congratulations to you and your entire team. Individual awards will be presented at this time. Congratulations.